I present you the ballistic missile submarine Red October.
We've seen his movies, read his books,
Homeland Security can't find a blacklist target,
and played his video games. Tom Clancy's stamp on pop culture and entertainment has been remarkable. His work keeps booksellers busy, and it keeps Hollywood's biggest actors employed.
Everything Tom Clancy did was big. If it wasn't a bestseller, it was a box office success.
Tom Clancy actually started out as an insurance agent who later tried out writing. Then his book, The Hunt for Red October, was name-checked by President Ronald Reagan. Voila! The Hunt for Red October became a bestseller in 1984, and Hollywood quickly noticed.
You sent the signal.
That's correct, sir.
The Hunt for Red October was made into a 1990 hit movie starring Alec Baldwin as dashing CIA analyst Jack Ryan. Today, Alec told us this. Spending time with Tom prior to shooting was the best part of that whole experience for me. Tom was smart, a great storyteller, and a real gentleman. Sit down! Harrison Ford took over the Jack Ryan role for two more movies, 1992's Patriot Games and 1994's Clear and Present Danger.
You must be the Dr. Ryan who has done such interesting research on me.
Ben Affleck played the role in a 2002 reboot, The Sum of All Fears. And Hollywood's not done with Jack Ryan yet. Star Trek's Chris Pine is starring in Jack Ryan Shadow One, due out later this year.
Jack Ryan is one of those iconic Hollywood tough guy characters. He's just a good guy trying to get rid of the bad guys, and it's one of those characters that we'll always be rooting for.
Tom Clancy didn't just dominate movies and books, he's a big name in video games as well.
Echo, proceed to street level and intercept the bomber.
Clancy's work has spawned several best-selling video game franchises, including Rainbow Six, Splinter Cell, and Ghost Recon. All told, Clancy's books have sold more than 50 million copies. Video games based on his work have sold more than 75 million copies. And the Jack Ryan movies racked up more than $788 million at the box office.
I've been a lazy person all my life. Now all of a sudden I've turned into a workaholic.
But for all his success, Clancy was baffled by his superstardom. Watch what he told Larry King on CNN back in 1991.
You pitch yourself at all of this? Not in my wildest nightmares, Larry.
Did you ever think this would happen?
No. I just wanted to see my name on the cover of a book and get that particular dream accomplished, and then I got real lucky.
Clancy may have gotten real lucky, and so did his fans. It's wild to think it was so well beyond his wildest dreams. So who's going to carry on Tom Clancy's legacy? Well, there are a lot of people who think there is no question it's going to be Brad Meltzer. He writes brilliant best-selling political thrillers like The First Assassin and created and hosts History's amazing show Decoded. Brad Meltzer says he owes his career to Tom. He's with us tonight from Fort Lauderdale. It's always great to see you, Brad. I'm sorry it's under these circumstances, and I'm sorry for your loss tonight.
No, thanks, AJ, and I appreciate what you said. You know, you hit it right on the head at the start. And this is a guy who we all owe our careers to. If you are writing thrillers today, you owe Tom Clancy in one way. And I'll speak just for myself. I mean, I write thrillers, as you said. They're political thrillers. They take secrets from the government. They go to high-level sources and try and show you things that are happening behind the scenes. I didn't invent that, right? That was Tom Clancy who paved the way, and I get to ride on his coattails. So a huge loss for all of us tonight.
And when we think about it, I mean, it's incredible. This guy, Tom Clancy, was just able to dominate the Hollywood thriller for decades. That doesn't really happen with anybody else. We had The Hunt for Red October. We had Patriot Games, Clear and Present Danger, all incredible movies. Don't forget The Sum of All Fears. Such a big list. Inside Edition's Megan Alexander is also with us tonight. What would you say, Megan, was that magic formula that Tom had that obviously we just couldn't resist?
Yeah. You know, Tom Clancy said in an interview, AJ, that writing was like playing golf. In order to be any good at it, you had to do it over and over and over again. And that's what he did. That's how he mastered his talent. And, you know, he was known with such careful detail, such extreme detail to some of these information in terms of Russian espionage, submarine security secrets, to the point where he was often accused of using classified information in his novels. And he always denied this and said that what was scary was many of the stories that he wrote actually came true. But, you know, AJ, he gave us smart literature, smart entertainment. As I'm looking at all these films and hearing all these titles, he really was someone that gave us good entertainment where we could invest in these characters and believe in these heroes.
Yeah, the realism that you mentioned, though, really one of those incredible things that jumped off the page or certainly off of the screen. And to that point, one of the most classic scenes from his books that was ever put on screen, there was that nail-biting game of chicken that happened between a Russian and an American sub in The Hunt for Red October. I want to revisit that.
Collision in 400 yards, 350, 300. Captain.
Right full rudder, 30-degree down.
Aye, sir. This one's gonna be close. Torpedo, get ahead!
You arrogant ass. You've killed us.
Oh, I have to go watch this movie again. It's been so long since I've seen it. But to your point, Megan, Tom's books got things so right. Not only did people question where was he getting the information, but the government actually asked for his advice during the Cold War years. Brad, that's something you and I have spoken about before because you also got tapped by Homeland Security to kind of brainstorm those different ways that terrorists might attack. Did Tom just clearly nail it when it came to that realism as much as I'm putting out there? Because that's what it always felt like.
Yeah, no, listen, of course he nailed it, and that's why they kept asking him to come back. You know, as you just said, I got a call from Homeland Security saying, will you come in and brainstorm ways that terrorists can attack us? And when I was there, you know, what I marveled at was why they were calling me as a thriller writer. And I know to this day, it's because people like Clancy put that spin in it. I remember right after 9/11 happened and we were all watching TV and looking for answers, I remember, you know, hearing that Clancy's story about the plane that suddenly hit the Capitol in one of his books. And it's not one of those things where that's not the call you want to be getting in the middle of the night or, you know, when just calling you asking me about that. But the amazing part of it is he was so close. He made that line between fiction and reality. It was such a fine line with him. And that's why you read the books. And I think also when you look at any piece of art, we can't forget art is always a reflection of the culture. And I don't think anyone captured that Cold War time period. I mean, Jack Ryan wasn't just a character to us. He was us.
Yeah.
He was our fears. He was all of that. And I think that's why it really succeeded. It wasn't just the research. It was that he was tapping into what we as Americans were feeling.
It was just incredible work to have been given to us by him, and what a legacy he leaves. Megan, Brad, thank you both so much for sharing your insight tonight. I really appreciate that.